you about that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move on a little bit, because we're talking about body impression and physique and so forth. What's another area that doesn't entail liposuction that we can help to enhance the abdomen and waist area?
The breast.
Absolutely. You said that that's our number one phone call.
That is. It's all, yeah, that's usually.
Okay. So what do you mean by the breast? What does that mean in terms of the impression of the body?
There's a few scenarios, and it just varies by woman, but you know, either someone had a breast augmentation a long time ago and they got very large breasts, and now they're a little bit saggier, they're drooping, those kinds of things, or they've had children, they've nursed, and now they feel like their breasts are deflated, but they're still sagging. Those are kind of the scenarios of women that come into the office or call.
Okay. So what you're describing, Karina, is where the female and the woman in the breast is hanging over the rib cage and hanging down onto the abdomen. Okay. And that's very disconcerting for these patients for a couple of reasons. One is that they feel like they have to lift up their breast to put them in the bra. Okay. It makes them very self-conscious. In fact, a lot of them will not undress in front of their significant others. And that's a concern. And as the breasts are kind of hanging over the rib cage onto the abdominal area, it actually tends to make them look heavier or older. I should backtrack for a minute, Karina. And then we were talking about laser liposuction of the abdomen and flanks. One of the things that I do afterwards, is the tricks I do is I talk to patients, are they happy and so forth. Hopefully most of them are. And then I show them their before and after photos. And I say, not so much looking at, oh, my waist is thinner and so forth. I say to them, you know, look at this patient here, the before, and look at this patient after. What do you think the age difference is? And it's them, okay? And they'll all reply that their after photo that they look younger. And a lot of times they look 10 years younger just because of how we changed the impression of the figure. And the same thing occurs with the breasts where they're hanging over the rib cage. When we see the patients after a breast lift, and that's what we would be performing. And yes, we can do it under local anesthesia. It's a great treatment for our patients. It's actually become our number one operation in our office. It has even eclipsed breast augmentation, that by just bringing the breast up off of the rib cage, it makes the patient look so much younger. And I know that a lot of patients appreciate that. Karina, where I would like to go, we have about 5 minutes left in our show today, 4 minutes, is that you know, breast augmentation obviously is still very popular, and that's where a woman is wants to be larger, have a larger breast amount. Some of the patients are flat, they have nothing, they feel like a boy. Some of them, they just want more of a boom, maybe something they've lost with pregnancies. How does breast augmentation affect the overall figure impression for our patients?
Yeah, it can make the patient feel heavier than what they really are. They don't feel that they look as slender.
If they go too big.
If they go too big.
If they go too big. Right.
But if you know, I forgot the question. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. This is, see, Karina is right after New Year's.
I'm still on my couch with my blanket.
She's still with her kids, her two beautiful daughters and all. Okay, with her blanket. So, Karina, what I was referring to, I love that. So we're live. This is live radio, everybody. Basically, I was asking you about what women feel when they have breast augmentation. And what happens is that a lot of times when they get augmented and maybe they haven't told anybody in their family or work, and they go to work and people will say to them, you look thinner.
Right.
And that's you actually look thinner because you've enhanced that breast area, the projection there. And so because of that projection of where the breast mound is, and then as you move down onto the abdomen, it actually makes the abdomen look thinner. So having a breast augmentation can actually make you look thinner. I want to make sure that our audience understands that. However, there's sort of that key point where if you go too big, it can make you look more matronly, right? And especially there's a subgroup of patients who are like that. Do you know what I'm thinking of?
Little small people.
Yeah, little small people.
Petite people.
Karina is a little small people, as you would say, petite. And so the patients who are shorter, okay, and sometimes that's our hardest conversation. We get them in and they want to come in and they want to be big, you know, right? They want to have that large breast mount. And we try to guide them, but we have to also explain to them that if you go too big, because of your stature, instead of making you look younger,
right.
instead of making you look more slender, it can actually make you look more matronly and make you look heavier, which is what you alluded to when I asked you the question that you forgot. Okay, so cosmetic breast surgery is an important part of our female patients' overall impression, body impression, and we're more than happy to talk to you about that. And please just give a call to Karina, and she'd be happy to answer those questions if she can remember the question that you may have. Okay, I'm giving Karina a hard time now. Don't worry, she's definitely going to get on. We're going to definitely tease her after the show today. So Karina, to summarize this, in terms of a patient saying, I'm feeling kind of just a little bit big. I want to look a little bit more slender. How would you summarize it? What would be the procedures that you would recommend?
Yeah, definitely. If their main complaint is their stomach area, then smart lipo, if they're a good candidate. And then if their breasts are, making them feel heavy, or just they want to go smaller, or they want to get augmented, that can definitely help their overall figure.
Absolutely. So if the breasts are hanging down over the rib cage, a lift or even a reduction can actually enhance your overall look and make you look more youthful, which is wonderful, because we all want to be more youthful, right? Or if you're flat-chested or you feel like you're underdeveloped in that area, an augmentation can make a huge difference. It has one of the highest satisfaction rates of all cosmetic procedures on our patients is breast augmentation. So, Karina, thank you for coming here. I had to drag Karina off our couch here. It is January 2nd, Karina. Okay, but thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Will you come back again if we don't teach you too much? Okay.
I'll try to remember the question.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in.